Hello again. When I was in Dubai a few weeks ago, we were out in the desert on the desert safari on, what were we doing? Dune buggies and sandboarding and crazy shit like that. Anyway, while I was out in the desert, I discovered we have sand dragons. So they're very, maybe it's because they're out in that sort of neck of the woods, like the Middle East area. But they're very like the Chinese type dragons. That was, at least, that's how they appeared when I first encountered them. I didn't have a lot of time I was snatching a few minutes here and there to connect in with them because too many people and noise and vehicles and things. But it's really interesting. It isn't something I'd ever really had a concept of. You know, we have dragons of the land, galactic dragons, we have the various clans, and you have your guides, your teachers and so on. But having sand dragons, that was something that I went, oh, now that's really interesting. Oh, duck in a tree, excuse me. So I'm just sort of, it's a question really. Have any of you guys encountered sand dragons? And what are your experiences with them? They appear to be quite retiring, and they're not very backward in coming forward, possibly because they're in the desert. They don't see a lot of people. So I haven't worked out what their role is yet. I'm sure I will. It will all become apparent over time, I'm sure. But you're going to have sand dragons wherever you've got sand, but obviously vast expanses of sand. So I'm thinking things like, you know, the Mojave Desert, the Sahara, obviously out in the Arab states. So wherever you've got these massive open spaces of you know, sand and dunes and things like that, you're going to have these sand dragons. Now, I've been aware for some time that there's a lot of dragon energy on the African continent. Will you leave the grass alone? And a couple of clients that I've worked with are based in South Africa, or in South Africa, and they've been doing work with the dragons out there. So, you know, they're all over the world. We have cave-dwelling dragons, and we have dragons that are incarcerated or stuck within the land for various reasons. Some are asleep, some have actually been put there. So the dragons, the sand dragons, are an interesting concept. They're quiet creatures compared to some of the other ones I've come across. So it's just to sort of say, this is what I've experienced, and at some point I will tune into them again, because once I've been somewhere physically and I've connected the energy of that space, I can then connect back in with it remotely, as I'm sure many of you can too. And so I will, when life allows and it calms down enough and I've got some time, I will actually tune into that energy in that space of the sand dragons out around Dubai, and see what I experience. I will report back as I discover it. I will report back. But in the meantime, I'd love to know what your experiences are of, you know, whether it be galactic dragons or earth dragons or whatever, water dragons. I'd love to know what you've experienced. And of course, if you know anything about sand dragons, I'd love to know about that too. Catch you later.